All right. And here is another episode with Secure the Seed. And today we're going to be talking to Mr. Smith of Main Social Media about financial literacy, guys. And I
Awesome, awesome.
want you guys to pay attention because this information is very pertinent. Even though you're a youth, you want to start conditioning yourself. We talked about healthy habits the other day, and this is definitely a part of healthy habits. Your bank account, your money, what you do with your money, how you spend your money. And I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Smith.
Hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? I want to take this quick time to, get on here, share some information about financial literacy and how important it is to get started early, understand how money works, and dive into it. I mean, at the end of the day, this information hopefully will stay with you for the rest of your life and help you make a big improvement, big change, because a lot of people don't really understand certain key things that you need to understand. The first thing I want to start off with is saving money, investing money, um, and the difference within where you place your money and how money grows. So I will just keep it simple. I will start with a bank account, a savings account. A lot of times people will say, hey, listen, I will save up all my money. I just, save my money, put inside of a savings account. And they think that's a way of accumulating wealth. And they don't really understand inflation. The rate of inflation is between 4 to 5% on average. Sometimes it may be a little bit higher or lower, but that's a good average. 4 to 5% is the national inflation for the United States of America. So if your money grows less than 5%, you are losing money if it's not growing. So if just leaving your money under the mattress is leaving your money to the side, if it's not growing, you're losing it because the value of your money goes down over time. And a lot of times people think, oh, I'll just save my money, put it inside the bank. And at the bank rates, I have this screen up on my screen right now. We can see the bank rates. The average bank rate right now is 0.01%, all the way up to 0.2% for a money market account, or 0.06 U.S. bank. So with a lot of times people see that and they think, oh, it's 1%. 1%. No, it's 0.01%. So it's not even 1%. All right. And a lot of times, if it was 1%, you gotta pay attention where that decimal point is. If it was 1%, it would be right before that. So it's 0.01%. So it's not even a full percentage. And a lot of times, if you even say let's be let's go ahead and say it is 1%. Let's say it's 2%. Even at 2% return on your money, you're looking at the interest rate. You're still losing another 2%. So if it's 5%, you're losing 3%. So your money's going down. Just letting it sit inside of a regular money market account or a regular savings account, your money is going down. So even though the regular markets and all that are more volatile, a lot of times those markets will yield you a higher return than just letting your money sit inside the bank account. Sometimes you should have cash on hand or money on hand, but financial literacy affects us all. And the fact that most people don't understand how money works. And when I say that most people don't understand how money works, is 95% of the people that you talk to have no clue how money really works. 95%. So it might sound dorky, might sound like it's not the cool thing to do, but it is cool to be making a lot of money, right?
Right.
So, I mean, it's not cool to be broke.
Especially y'all youth. Y'all expensive. Y'all like the shop. Y'all like
Yes,
sneakers and food and all kinds of
exactly.
stuff.
So if you like nice things, then you need to understand how to manage your money, and you need to understand how money works. So when I say 95% people don't have a clue, I mean this is a little chart I have up on here. This is a good little short reference to kind of go by, but I'm gonna use this to kind of show you this. Is that this is a pyramid? If you see my mouse cursor, this is a pyramid. I'm going to use this for you to understand, and I'm going to do the math for you real quick, okay? And go with me is that at the top of the pyramid is the people that have all the money. All right. I'm not going to talk about the whole situation. I'm going to say at the top are the people that have all the money, people that are worth $100,000 to $1 million or more in the whole world. All right, so $100,000 US to $1 million or more are the people at the very top. All right, now the people, everyone underneath of that, that means the next bracket, it will say from this very top pyramid and everything all the way down, they have, you know, the rest of the money in the world. Okay, but what I want you to understand is all the money in the world. That means all the money in the world. We'll say we'll use the same pyramid. We're going to say all the money in the world, which is all this down here. All right, all this down here, it's all the money in the world. All right, and I have a diagram that I normally draw, and I draw this out really well, so it's easier to understand. But we have to do the Zoom meeting, so I couldn't be there with y'all in person. But I want y'all to go with me real quick, okay? So the top people on this diagram, those are the people with all the money in the world, and all these people down here, they have all the rest of the money in the world. All right, but all the money in the world, the same diagram, this diagram is going to represent all the money in the world. Okay, all the money in the world, and then these people right here up top, they run all this money in the world. They control all this money in the world. Now the people at the bottom, all these people at the bottom, okay, they're fighting for what's left over, which will be at the top here. So you got to flip the pyramid upside down. And I hope to get back on here again and kind of draw it out for y'all so you can understand. But I'm going to do the math for you to understand this, okay? We're going to say 5%, okay? So we're going to say this represents 5% of the people. We're going to easy math so you can follow me. I'm going to do this calculator for you, okay? We're going to say this represents 5% of all the people in the world. Or we're going to say this down here, all this down here represents 95% of all the people in the world, okay? So I'm going to do the calculator with you, right? And we're going to use $100, all right? We're going to say we have 100 people in the room, and 5 of y'all are wealthy. 5 of y'all are wealthy that's inside the room. The other 95 are just regular people, and the other 95 of you are down here, all right? So now, right now, in your mind, I want you to picture, hey, listen, am I going to be one of those 5 people that's wealthy, or just a 95 that everyone thinks is cool and I just get along and I'm just average and I don't really understand how money works? So if you're the 5% that's in the room, you're the people that people don't really say, oh, you're not really that cool because you just don't want to do everything else that we're all doing. That's not the popular thing. You should do what we're doing. Well, those 95% of the people that's doing what's popular is not what's making money. All right, you have to be the opposite. You have to be the odd person out to really understand it and really capitalize on it. Okay, so we're going to use this we're going to use $100, and we're going to say 100 people need to split $100. And I want to show you how big of a difference this is. Okay, so 100 of y'all have to split $100. All right, and we're going to find out who can buy what and who can't. All right, so now we're going to go over here. And we're going to go to, let's see here. Let's go to calculator. I brought it up here. All right, here we go. So we have 100 people, all right, that have to split $100. And how the money's broken up is 95% of the people, okay, so 95 of y'all have to split what? $95. So 95 of y'all need to split $95. Excuse me. I apologize. I messed up. 95 of y'all have to split $5. I apologize. Okay, so 95 of y'all have to split $5, and then 5 of y'all have to split $95. All right. So we're gonna say $5. Okay, let's clear this out. Get that over here. $5 because it's 95% and 5%. Simple math. So $5 divided by 95 people, okay, equals each of you 5 cents, 5.2 cents, or 5 cents. Each of you get 5 cents. Let's round it up. Give you 6 cents, 6 pennies, okay? Okay, so y'all all get 6 pennies, all right? That's how much money you'll get. Now, the other people who are the odd people out, but understand how money works. Remember I told you before, right? The people that's up here, all right, hold on, where we at? The people that's up here control all the money. All right, they're the small, but they control the whole pie. Now those people up there, okay, the five of y'all have $95 that y'all have to split. Okay, so you have 95 divided by 5 equals. So y'all get $19 a piece. You can buy a couple things. You can buy some things with $19 a piece, but that's how money works. Broken down that simple is that you have to understand financial literacy, because if you do not understand, you know, you're going to be in the 95 percentile. And if you want to be in that 5 percentile, then you have to actually have financial literacy. You have to understand how money works, how to cultivate it and grow it. Make the money work for you. You don't work for the money. You control money. Money doesn't control you. All right. And so at the end of the day, I hope this analogy right here kind of breaks it down for you to understand the importance of financial literacy, because you could have 5 cents or you can have $19. You don't have a choice. This is how the world works, period. The only choice you have is either you're going to be a 95 percentile or you're going to be in the 5 percentile. That's the only choice you have. You don't have any other choice. It's not going to stop. The world is, whether you think it's fair, not fair, doesn't matter.
There's a pandemic or not.
Does not matter. Pandemic. Listen, um, my companies were hit hard with the pandemic on certain companies, and certain companies are still doing well. But it's diversity. You know what I'm saying? You have to diversify your portfolio, diversify, you know, how your money comes in. You need to make sure that you have the various sources of income coming in. And so at the end of the day, let's talk about working for someone else and working for yourself. Now, not every single person is an entrepreneur. But you know, if you have the ability to own your own business or start your own business, I definitely would encourage you to, because there's a difference between working for per hour and actually, you know, deciding how much you're worth. So what I mean by that is that we all have one thing that separates us. And that's how we use our time. The most important thing that you own in this whole wide world is your time. Okay, so how you spend that time determines how you live your life. Determines how much money you make. Determines everything. So time is the most important thing on the planet Earth. Everything is subject to time, and we all have one thing in common. We all have 24 hours in a day. All right, and people sell their time to get paid, you know, a certain wage. And so they say, hey, listen, I will work for you. I'll give you the most priceless thing I have is my time, providing you pay me X, Y, Z, and per hour. Okay, that's typically on that note. Nothing against that. Is just understand it. Understand that you're selling a part of your time to earn money. Now, if you say, hey, listen, I'll pay you $50. Now, let's say this. I'll pay you $100 an hour to work. Most people will say, oh, yes, $100 an hour to work for you. I'll do it. At $40 an hour, that's over $4,000 a week. So at $4,000 a week, and we'll say that's 4 weeks in a month, that's what's that, $16,000 a month income. That's over 16,000. You know, that's a decent amount. What's that? 196 for the year. 16 times. Let me see. What is that? 16,000 times 12 equals 192. So $192,000 a year income, and that might sound like it's a lot of money, and it is in retrospect, based on, you know, what your options are in life. But let's just say someone working for themselves, and the difference between being rich and being wealthy, you have to understand, rich is relative to, they're both relative, but rich is really the difference between rich, wealthy person and rich person is one person that makes, let's say the person makes $1 million a year. They make $1 million a year. That person is considered rich if, in fact, if they stop working, then the money goes away. Okay, they make $1 million a year based on their time. That person is considered rich. I make $1 million a year. The person, let's say the person that makes $100,000 a year, but they don't have to work to get the $100,000 a year. All their bills are paid. They have a decent, their home is taken care of. Everything else is, they're good. And they don't have to spend any time to get that $100,000 a year. The $100,000 a year comes in no matter what. All right, their time is separated from their income. That person is considered wealthy. So rich is basically the amount of money that you're making. You're making a lot of money, great. But if you lose your job or something happens and your money goes away, you're just rich. But if you have developed a system and money keeps on coming to you, whether you work or not, you're considered wealthy. So that's the big difference on that. Is the big difference is your time. Do you have to work for the money, or are you set up where your money comes in regardless? So what I want to say is this though, is that let's just say you are a business owner, okay, and we all have 24 hours. So how can you get an advantage in this world? And how to get an advantage is get other people to work with you or for you. If you have other people working with you or for you, then you can actually get an advantage that will carry you over. Um, uh, so let's just say you have 10 people working for you, okay? So 10 times 24 is you have 240 hours theoretically of work being done for you. So instead of you having only 24 hours, if you're able to employ or get other people to work for you, that's how you can actually have a competitive advantage. One of the quickest ways to have a competitive advantage on this planet is to now you have 240 hours worth of work being done, and that work can benefit you and kind of go from there. So when you go to a job or you go to any company, what they're going to do is they're going to look at what value do you bring to the table. And based on the value that you bring to the table, they're going to pay you an hourly wage. They need to make more money than the amount that they're paying you, and they need to still make a profit. So they need to make a profit, pay you, make a profit, pay for overheads, overhead expenses, and that's a business. That's something that they can go ahead and scale up, hire more people, make more money. And when you understand that, when you're financially literate to understand, hey, listen, if I'm working for this company, if I'm doing this, I'm delivering this value to the company. So my worth to the company is worth X. And then do that for yourself. If you're able to find a way or find something that you like to do, and if it's possible, either do it for yourself or find ways that you can actually bring more value to the company so that they can pay you more money to do so. And that's the core basis of financial competence, financial literacy that I want to actually bring to y'all today. I don't want to flood your mind with too much, but if you can remember everything that I just said, it breaks down like this. One is that putting your money inside the bank, regular bank rates is not the answer. It's just really just leaving your money by itself only in a savings account or a regular money market account. It's not going to grow faster than inflation. So that's very important. So understand that you need to open your mind to understand that other ways to cultivate and grow your money, because if not, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose your money just letting it sit there. And there's a lot of other things that can go into Rule of 72 and different things, but I won't even go into those right now.
That's what I was looking for, because I'm like, listen, we're bookers, so we love books. So I'm going to share my screen because there's a book that, as he was talking, a lot of African American children do not know about, and is Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yep, Robert T. Kiyosaki.
Yes, and they have a children's version.
Oh, they do.
So I'm going to pull up what it looks like. I was trying to find my daughter's and then get mine's, but it didn't work out that way. So I'm just gonna pull it up here so you guys get to see what it looks like. And I'm going to attach also the link, because for the children's version, they have it, and I believe for the adults too, you can listen to it on YouTube. But I'm going to show you guys what this book looks like, because it's very important. because I normally don't get up during my Zooms. And I'm like, oh my goodness, as you're talking, I'm like, oh, I gotta show them this book.
It's a few books.
Yes, there's a
Like
lot.
I wasn't trying to overwhelm them too much. But Rich Dad Poor Dad is a good book.
And it's a good starter for you guys. And I'm gonna
Yes.
pull up the children. This is what it looks like, guys. I'm gonna pull up the children's because this breaks it down in a little simpler terms. And everything that he says in the main book, he does it, just a little different.
Okay.
But it's mainly everything in the adult book or just the book period. So here is he has a lot of different books and he's not paying me for this.
There's one for teens. I see in Rich Dad Poor Dad for teens.
Yes. So he's not paying me for this, guys. Okay. This is not an advertisement.
You got a free plug on that, right?
Yes. So look, you guys are teenagers. So he has Rich Dad, Poor Dad for teens. He has Rich Kid, Smart Kid. And then this is the normal book. He has Audible. So even if you children are not really big on reading, you can listen to it. There's so many different links to listen to it on YouTube. And then Mr. Smith shared with me what was it? The quadrant? The
cash flow quadrant.
Oh, the cash flow quadrant. But like we say, we're not going to drop a lot of stuff on y'all today because this is y'all first lesson in it. But I'm definitely going to.
Got to give them milk first.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to drop you guys some links and add links to this video because I think it would definitely be helpful for you guys to start conditioning your minds and reading. Expand your mind, reading different books, reading leadership books.
I would say on your own time as well, Google the Rule of 72 as it relates to finance. That's another rule that you should definitely understand. How long does it take your money to double? How many years would it take your money to double? Just Google that Rule of 72. I don't want to put too much on you, but as I was saying earlier, though, understanding that you need to understand more than what the banks are offering to you.
Right.
Otherwise, you're losing money just letting it sit there.
Because we want to be the banks. That's the goal, right? We want to be the bank.
We're working on something.
Yeah, we want to be the bank, okay? So we don't want to keep going to the bank. We want the people to come to us. We want
exactly. Be the lender, not the borrower, right?
You took the words right out of my mouth because I was just about to say the Bible says we are the lenders, not the borrowers. So that is the goal, to cultivate you guys and then to start getting you guys thinking differently while you're still in middle school, while you're still in high school. So when you go to college, some people may not decide to go to college because of financial reasons. Some people may go get a trade. I'm just going to tell you, just start doing your research and see what is financially, and that's why this Rich Dad Poor Dad is so awesome, because he compares a parent going to college and being poor and a parent not going to college and being wealthy. Even though it's Rich Dad Poor Dad, Mr. Smith explained the difference between rich and wealthy, but the rich dad was actually wealthy. He was an entrepreneur, had own business and things like that, and he was better off than the dad who went to college. Okay, so like I said earlier, and Mr. Smith said, we're not going to dump too much on you, but he gave you guys some very good tips on what to look up, and I'm going to, in the description box, post the links to both books. And the straight link to Amazon if you guys want to get it from Amazon, wherever you want to get it from, if you want to do the Audible download, but just start looking into different things, looking into different trades.
Unless y'all want that 5 cents.
Listen, I know I don't want the 5 cents.
What? 5 pennies.
5%.
6 cents would be nice.
That's going to be my new name. I'm a 5%er. I'm up top of the.
Understand how money works. Listen, yeah. I'm trying to tell you. What I was trying to say to you is that one part I kind of left off when I didn't finish up was that when you look at it per hour, if I said $100 an hour and I said that that was $192,000 a year and you thought it was a decent amount of money, well, when you look at, you know, I will just say this: there are people out here that will do a sale. We'll use the sales industry for example, right? We'll use the insurance industry. All right. There are. I was once. I was a regional director with a life insurance firm. I won't say the name. But what happened was, in an hour, 1 hour, it takes me to sit down to talk to someone. I got so good where I could do it in about 20, 30 minutes. In 20, 30 minutes, I was able to do, give or take, $1,000 in about 20, 30 minutes. All right. $1,000 in 20, 30 minutes. And I did that for about 3 years. So imagine if you're getting paid $100 an hour, which, most people don't, but it does say you get paid $100 an hour. I can sit down 20, 30 minutes and do the $1,000, and which is 10 hours of that work. So it's a different mindset of understanding. Look at, if you like music, look at some of these musicians or these artists. They will go out and they will perform a show. They will do a show and they'll perform on stage and they'll get paid $500,000 for $500,000 for about 3 hours to 4 hours worth of performance. And their actual performance is not that long. It's just the whole show is roughly that long. But I'm just saying their performance. So let's just say in 4 hours they make $500,000 in 4 hours, while some people are only making 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 an hour, $100 an hour, because there's different levels to understanding how money works. And then no level is a bad level. I don't care if you're working making minimum wage. You have to start somewhere. But always try to educate yourself to take it to the next level and understand that no one's better than you. We all. Jay-Z said, everyone has genius level talent. It's just tapping into it and using it. So at the end of the day, I want to make sure that y'all understand that. Stay encouraged, stay educated, and make sure that you dive into financial literacy. And definitely, like Shanika said, go and check out Rich Dad Poor Dad is a great addition to what I just said. It will reinforce everything. And I hope that see y'all at the top.
Yes, we're gonna be 5%ers. That's what our goal is. That's why we're securing the seed. And your mind is a very, very powerful tool. So what you put inside. The other day we talked about healthy living, right? So just think about your mind being your stomach. And the more positive things and the more educational things that you put in there, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, when you put crap inside of there, what happens? You get all kind of diseases and all of this other kind of stuff, and it's really not good for your body. You can't breathe if you walk, and it's just messy. So think of your brain being your stomach. Start feeding your brain some good things, especially when it comes to your money. Because I'm telling you, had I known a lot of the things that I know now about money when I was younger, I would have made a lot of different decisions. But we're here now. We're in 2020. So I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. We're just going to keep it moving because we're going for the 5%. That's it.
Yes,
That's what we're going to be. And when y'all see us, y'all going to be like, I remember. Yup. So if you get on board now, and then definitely think about entrepreneurship, because I love the work smarter, not harder. Just think about the fact that one of the things that helped me like tremendously, I never was an employee. I could never really be an employee because I just always wanted so much more. But to hear someone say it was like a light bulb to me. So one day Mr. Smith told me, he was like, I would never hire you. I was like, what? I was like, because I do have a lot of problems. When I actually do get a job, I have problems because they know that I'm too great to be there. So they're looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, why are you here? Like, it's like volunteering. And when he said, I won't hire you, he was like, because you're someone that can't be capped. And that's how I've always been. I've always had a hustler mentality, whether it was bad or good. Um, so I've always had the hustler mentality. I'm from New York, so I was always just getting it. And then I had to realize, growing up, not doing certain things, and making sure I made more of a positive impact in the way my income was coming in. But I want you guys to definitely think about the fact that with the work is smarter, not harder, the same amount of blood, sweat, and tears you pour into an employer to get that check every week, every 2 weeks, and this and that and the third. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. But guess what? While you in your mama's house, this is the best time to do it. This is the best time to start making all the mistakes and all of that. So that way, when you get in the dealt, now, boom, your business is skyrocketing. Because if I would have did some of those things when I was younger,
Yes.
man, I would have been a rocket ship. Y'all got the advantage right now.
I want to say this because I know they like the Yeezys, right? So I want to say this. I always use Kanye's.
In the 5%.
I use Kanye as a topic. As of yesterday, at the time of this recording, as of yesterday, Kanye is now verified by Forbes as being a billionaire with a B. So a billionaire at $1.3 billion. So Jay-Z did it first officially. He's a billionaire from the music industry. But the reason why I want to say Kanye, we'll talk about Kanye, is because not too long ago Kanye was in debt for over $50 million in debt. He was financially down, in debt, over 50 million negative net worth. And to see him bounce back in such a short time, now to be worth over $1.3 billion. I mean, his last year's revenue was over 150 million just last year. Just for the year, and now his net worth overall. Net worth is how you calculate net worth is you take everything that you own, the value of it, and then you subtract everything that you owe. So once you subtract everything that you owe and you add up everything that you do own, the value of it, and that gives you your net worth. And then if it's a company, it's a little bit more to it than that. But at the end of the day, that's the gist of how you calculate net worth. So at the end of the day, Kanye is worth 1.3 billion. But he went through adversity. He went through being down, out, financially destitute, and now look where he's at. And that's a great testament to never giving up and always staying focused. But you can never get 1.3 billion and working for someone else in an hourly check. Not saying it's bad. It's just there's other options.
There are other options. So definitely think smarter while you're young and living in your parents' homes. Start now. This is the best time to start, especially going through a pandemic. Just start writing your things down, writing your ideas down. The Bible says write it down, make it plain. Start putting that stuff on paper. Start exploring. Start reaching out to people. Because let me tell you something, while you're young, there's a lot of things you don't have to pay for when you're young. Because when you're a youth, people feel excited for you, so they just want to help you. You know what I'm saying? You might not have to pay for certain things.
Innocence.
Yeah, you're so innocent. And they're like, I'm not gonna charge you to do a logo. I'm not gonna charge you for a website. What kind of, they have a heart for you. They're not gonna charge you to give you choreography and all of that stuff all the time. But I just definitely, and I definitely appreciate Mr. Smith for coming on here and speaking to you guys today. So once again, I'm going to post the links down at the bottom, and I'm also going to include Mr. Smith's business information, being that he has main social media. So main social media can help you with all your marketing needs. So like I said, being that we're young, you're still young, just start tapping around, start looking into what you want to do, because it don't matter what business you're going to do, you're going to need marketing.
Definitely.
You're going to need marketing.
Listen, this pandemic. You can just be a
YouTuber. You're still gonna need marketing being a YouTuber, okay?
Because pandemic really shows up how much you really definitely need marketing, and you have to be able to adapt. I mean, definitely. But as I said, we definitely want to see the best for y'all and see y'all succeed and just open your minds to different things.
and we're gonna come back. I'm gonna have him back on, and we talked about financial literacy, but we're gonna pick one because I want him to talk to you guys about the cash flow quadrant next.
Yes, we can talk about that.
We're gonna pick different topics, and we're gonna have him come back on and talk because I definitely believe pouring this into our African American children.
We're gonna have to do this the next one. If we do a video one, we have to do one at the office. And I'll bring out the easel.
Whiteboard.
Yeah, we could write up. We could write everything out, and I can actually draw it out so that way.
I'm telling you, he's a beast. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I be in them meetings like,
They bring you paper and pencil.
y'all gonna have to sit at the computer literally with a paper and pencil and be like, oh wow, that makes sense, you know. So once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good day.
Have a great one.